All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Just a short time ago, these Philly fans in full roar as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. Pyrotechnics ablaze. They're set to go as their Eagles will match up with the Houston Texans. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. They'll run with a rookie. It's Boston Scott. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Watch it now, Barney! That's the way you fly to the ball.
On 2nd down, Scott. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That good for 22 and a first down.
Dance class, anyone? Did you see the steps between the quarterback and the running
That's
back
what you
on
need
that
for a
counter
good
play?
counter.
You have to have it because you're setting up your blocking. There's a timing element as well, but they have to marry up their steps. Otherwise, that timing gets thrown out the window.
Timing was great there and a big run. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. Looking for Jeffrey, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line.
Doesn't matter who you're rooting for in this game. The effort of the man with the football, getting away from one and trying to churn forward and get some yardage, I really liked what he did there.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. On 2nd down, here's Miller. And he stopped immediately there. Nothing there, no gain, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 15. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Jackson on 2nd down. Got a man complete. This is Richard Rodgers. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 32 that time.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Justin Reed, the safety, made the tackle. Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle.
And how about the range, too? Coming from the outside part of the play, moving his way into the inside and making that play happen. No gain for the offense, big play for the defense.
And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll run on first down. Scott, he winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 2nd down, Jackson. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
Check 6 guys.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Boston Scott with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Elliott now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. Oh, spinning away. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line.
Flex round. Flex round. Hey.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks.
And that was a good collision right there. And I know this as a former defender. If you're playing linebacker, you're going through a checklist on every play on who you think's going to get the ball, where you think the ball's going to go. Rarely do you expect the fullback position to get it. And on that play he did. So you've got to steel yourself at that point. Strong.
It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up 4th down. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now Sproles. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Love the run right there, and when you analyzed him coming out of college, when you tried to put a grade on him, you saw the flashes while he was in school, but but you didn't see the full production. You didn't see the finished product. He's a little bit raw, but you can see why people liked him. Those types of runs make you think there's plenty more there, and we'll see if that continues for him.
Leopard! Leopard! Gun! 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 Gun!
On second down, here's Jackson. Forced out to his left. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down.
Well, he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Gun! 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 Gun!
Throwing is Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to throw it back. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. A big play there for the Eagles on third down. 42 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On first down, Scott. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out.
Check 37. Check 37. Over.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Boston Scott with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. And it's good to make it 14-0. Elliott now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Flex round. Flex round. Ohio. Ohio. Check.
Lamar Miller. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Nigel Bradham brings him down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Ohio. 3 down.
Webb dumps it complete to Miller. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
He wasn't ready. Flex round. Flex round.
A first down carry now for Miller. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. It was Josh Sweat who got him down on the defensive side.
Ohio! Ohio! Get him, boys!
On 2nd down, Webb. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Ohio! 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 Ohio!
Out of the gun, it's Webb. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Nice pick, nice pick. Flex round! Flex round! Come on, let's go! Red 38!
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Two times. Ohio! Ohio!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down to the 45. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. Here they come, 2nd and 10 now from the 10. On 2nd down now, Scott. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
That's what I'm talking about.
Under 4 to play now. Clock running, 3rd down.
Gun! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Jackson. Buying time to his left. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30. First target, first catch, and a 1st down.
Double tight. 3 down. Black 99 Philly, here we go.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
Gun!
From the gun, Jackson. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Dallas Goedert, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles add on to their lead. Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. Elliott now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
10th carry now for Lamar Miller. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. The Texans on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 8. They'll run it now out of the gun. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. It's a pickup of 3, and we have now arrived at the 2-minute warning. The Texans send the punter out. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
The Eagles in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10.
Detroit!
They go play action with Jackson. That escapes the set, but in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. To throw on 2nd down, Jackson. He's going to air one out. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Alshon Jeffrey, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles had 6 to their lead. And he puts it through. Elliott now to kick this one away.
Number 16.
And now out comes Houston. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he'll lose yardage and be down at the 7-yard line. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. Sproles, the return. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. And out now come the Eagles. And this is a spot late in the clock near midfield, though. Maybe take a couple chances, see if you get in field goal range.
You do that if you have trust. And this should be a position now where the great ones, they relish this opportunity to try and put points on the board.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. Oh, and Elliott has pushed it to the right. It is no good. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, this snow front that has socked much of the East Coast not going away as we are back to it in the 2nd half. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that. Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Again, it's Miller. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a fourth down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. This is fielded at the 27. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
defense,
got the lead. Yeah.
We've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Play action. It's Jackson. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there, a 22. Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. Catch here, left side, Thomas. A very solid gain of 27.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
On 3rd down, it's Scott. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the 1st down as he's tackled at the 2.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They come out here in the eye. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And he's in. Front Eagles touchdown. In for the score. And the Eagles continue to roll.
Brandon, would you say they went from agony to elation in just a few quick seconds on that play?
Probably thought they were about to give it up in the red zone and then touchdown.
Yeah, there is absolutely no way that they drew it up and said this is the way it's supposed to be done. It just happened.
But the end will justify the means. Elliott now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
The tackle there by Chris Long. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Ohio!
They'll run it again with Miller. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Miller. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with that have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team was saying, yeah, we called him the disruptor. And that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a 3rd and about 9 to go. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th.
Ohio! Here we go! Red 38! Red 38!
They're going to try and throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But I think a Texan player was able to get his hands on it, and they will indeed hold on to the ball and the possession. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Eagles are going to take over in great field position. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Steps away to his left. Jeffrey with a catch left side. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Play action. Now Jackson. Flush to his right. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. They'll spot it at the 30, so this is a 40-yard attempt. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, it's still a good-sized lead, so they haven't necessarily needed him, but this is now 2 missed field goals for him in this game so far.
Yeah, and the question now is, will he be prepared when they do need him? Whether that's later in this game or sometime down the line, having a kicker you can count on is definitely imperative.
They'll try and get the run game going. This is Miller, and he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Ohio! Ohio! Hey, we are...
They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a loss of 2, now third down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
On third down, Webb underneath for Miller. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Now a handoff to Miller. He juked him. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Corey Graham brings him down. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
A give to the fullback on the dive. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Brandon, you know how we talk about having wrinkles in a game plan? That was a fold right there. How about that play? Being able to change things up. You think anyone else on the team's going to get the ball? And in that situation, they surprise everyone and give it to their big guy.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet that says try something different, try some specials, something they haven't seen all day to try and get this offense kick-started.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. They'll get 4 on second down, but it leaves them with third and still 9 to go.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. And the Eagles are going to go ahead and take another timeout. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this fourth quarter. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. And there is nothing easy about being a kicker on a day like this.
Yeah, I tell you, not only is the footing tough in the snow, but kicking that ball is like kicking a rock. Very difficult to get any sort of feel on your kicks.
Flushed out right. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Andre Howe. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10.
Ohio!
They begin with a run by Miller. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get really anything going on the ground, can they?
I love the theme that you just brought up. This defense has been tough all game long against the run. We just saw another example of it there.
Here's a give to Miller. Escapes the defender. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston 1st down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
They keep it with Miller on 1st down. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
But he was stopped on that play. But he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Flex round! Flex round!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. And they just took a timeout with 2 seconds to go. This one obviously decided. Not sure they needed to take it, but we'll take it with them. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Flex round! Flex round!
They'll run. It's Miller. Quick move by Miller, and he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. Oh, partner, there's something